Coming up on Volusia Magazine, we roll up our sleeves for a great cause, uncover hidden sugars, and visit a unique high school expo. Those stories and more next. Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osmond. High school can be a time for important decisions. For Volusia County juniors and seniors, there is an annual expo that brings them up close and personal with life-changing choices. We head to University High School in Orange City for more.
This is the 13th annual military expo that University High School hosts every year, and it's unique to the community because it allows the students to see, not just talk from recruiters and other military recruiters, but actually get the hands-on experience of what it is that military actually does.
Well, our 13th annual, as we would say, is probably very successful because more students want to be here, and more high schools want to be here because of word of mouth. And once they come in for the first time, they see what other assets are here or what programs are here. It gets the students excited and then gives them an incentive. And that's the main goal. Give them something to see that they might never see again.
Florida has some of the best students. They're bright. Here at this event, we show them the Nimitz virtual reality simulator. There are virtual reality headsets. There are impact vests. Basically, it walks them through how it is to be in the Navy.
Before the virtual reality simulation, before that first helicopter landed, this expo was just an idea in Perry Revlett's mind.
When I was at Pine Ridge with the Sports Science EMS Academy, when we had that there, I went into one of my friends, teacher I work with, and I told this teacher, I said, let's do this expo. And he kind of looked at me kind of like, what are you talking about? I said, let's just, bring some, fire department, ambulance, military, just kind of, it was very small scale. It was 15 people, 15 programs. And we only had the senior class out there. And and even all the programs that were there that day, they all sat down and had lunch together. So now, here we are, 13 years later, and from my perspective, it shows me that you can do anything you want to do. And it made it possible because it's not just me, it's many other people that are involved. And just like with the military, EMS, law enforcement, all these guys, it's a small world, and someone knows somebody from somewhere. Well, one thing that we try to get across to students, faculty, staff, is that this is something as a career choice. It gives them something to look at as into the future. It might be some student that said, well, I just don't have the grades to go to college, or I don't have something to get to pay for college. And this is where they can actually find a occupation, a career, and then have their college paid for by these programs. Like I said, it could be someone from a state or local agency, or it could be someone from a federal agency. And there's the careers that they can go into that they would like to have.
And it's our jobs as recruiters to inform them that the military isn't what it was back in the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, that when kids are going into the military, it's for opportunities, it's for education, it's for that financial stability. It's not just to be a war dog.
Back in, say, 40, 50 years ago, they didn't have these opportunities. Today, we do. And this is where this day of this expo gives that opportunity to those students to say, this could be you. This could be you a year from now or 2 years from now. And so, yeah, it's got to be something really big for not just the students, but the faculty, staff, the county, the state and federal agencies are here because they like being here because of the students. This is something that we have learned over the years. It's like when you have one big event as this here, and you have this many numbers, they know that they like to be here because they don't have to go out and we say hit the streets and do work hard. It's just because now they have them here and they can show what they have when they're here with this many people.
I truly wish that we would have had an event like this when I went to high school, because all we had was off of hearsay. You listen to what a recruiter says, you go through brochures, you don't actually get to have the hands-on experience. You get to meet other recruiters and see what their personal experiences were like. So if we would have had something like this in our high school, I think it would have encouraged more students to join the military, not just the Navy, but all the branches.
Selfishly, what's your favorite part about the day?
When these guys land and I'm sitting here bringing them in, you know, it's 5 months of planning or emails and calling back and forth, and you know, it takes some, you have to talk to people. That's the thing about it. Talk to them and ask them. If you don't ask, you might not ever get anything. And what it is to me is when the sun is coming up and the blue skies are coming and you see these guys coming in, it's cool. It's cool to get to hear and land the birds. That's why I like.
Volusia.org is your online county government resource. View the county council agenda and meeting calendar, as well as review past meeting minutes and archived video and audio. Save time and bypass the lines by going online to register your car or boat, pay a bill, and much more. Plus, you can use the site to discover activities, workshops, and ways to become involved with your community. Volusia.org is your portal to everything Volusia County.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
You have to be a sugar detective to find all the added sugars that are hiding in your pantry. Dr. Holly Smith shares tips on unmasking those sugars and reducing your daily intake without giving up the flavor.
When you have sugar in the sugar bowl, you can tell how much you're dropping into your morning coffee or your afternoon tea. But when you add sauce to your meats or spaghetti sauce to your noodles, you're ladling a lot more of the sweet stuff into your diet than you might think.
Here's one of those areas where the sugar's kind of hidden, because we don't think of this as an area with high sugar content, but barbecue sauce does have sugar as the first ingredient. It's high fructose corn syrup. So when you look at the label, you kind of, oh, okay, that's very high in sugar.
How do you read those labels on the back of food products? Well, if you're looking at one of the new labels, it's pretty easy to see how much added sugar you're eating. Here's a look at the old and new label. And remember, we're looking for added sugars. The new label, that's the one on the right, breaks out those added sugars and makes it easy to see. You want to avoid eating more than 50 grams of sugar a day. So how do you get those grams down to a manageable number and still enjoy what you're eating?
You can use natural seasonings, which are very healthy for you. You can also use your own hot peppers or different hot sauces that don't have added sugar.
I can see a lot of people getting frustrated. They're listening to all this great information, but they don't have time or maybe not the desire to read every label when they're going down the aisles.
Yeah. Well, it's really hard to know what's in there without reading the label, unfortunately. You can't tell by the picture on the package.
What about the writing, all natural or organic?
You really have to turn the package around and look at the sugar content and the ingredient list. But there's good options too. Like salsa is a great option, and it's vegetables, and then you've got some spicy tomatoes. And again, you can season it yourself. Also explore some seasonings that you might have never tried, like oregano, which is really healthy. They're full of antioxidants and they're very protective. So they protect from inflammation, whereas the sugar increases inflammation. Things like fruits and vegetables, oregano, and other seasonings actually decrease inflammation in the body.
That inflammation leads to a host of potential medical problems. Think heart disease and diabetes. And all those extra calories from sugar can cause obesity, which is linked to those same chronic diseases. But that sweet flavor can be very addictive, and for some, it's a hard habit to break.
Everyone's brain chemistry is different. There are people who are extremely drawn to sugar. They overeat, and once they have a product with sugar, it leads to eating more calories. And it's very hard to stop once you get that brain trigger that says, I want this, and my hand's going in that cookie bag, and it's not coming out till that bag's empty.
Speaking of the cookie bag, let's talk dessert, which typically is very high in sugar. You have a few options to reduce your intake of those added sugars while still enjoying a tasty treat. One option is to reduce your portion size. Instead of half the bag of those stuffed cookies, eat just 2 or 3. Eat fruit instead of cake or cheesecake or those cookies. I'm sure you've heard that one before. But how about this? If you can cut back on the added sugar the rest of the day, you can enjoy half a slice of pie for dessert and not go over your 50 grams. Just remember, you need to keep your total of added sugar under 50 grams a day. That's about 12 teaspoons.
It can be a little bit of a challenge to get used to reducing your sugar so that you're down to that 50 grams or less every day. If you're looking for more information on how to do that, there are 2 websites you can go to. One of them is the American Heart Association. The other one is Harvard Health. For the Florida Department of Health right here in Volusia County, I'm Dr. Holly Smith.
We have 12 boxes throughout the downtown area from Howry all the way to Wisconsin. The idea for this project came from some trips that I had throughout the country. I felt that we could do something here in DeLand with our utility boxes, which are basically meaningless structures other than traffic light signals. I've been involved with this from day one. So seeing one that was fully implemented over here at Indiana, East Indiana, with the postcards. John Wilton and I put that together, and I was absolutely, I'll say, enthralled by what I saw. John has been the, I'll say, driving force. Well, it may have been my idea. John is the one that really pulled it together and made it happen.
My involvement in this project is not so much about me, it's about cultural tourism and aesthetic stewardship in the city of DeLand. So any way I can work to get that accomplished, that's what I'm going to do. This project was a collaboration between the Museum of Art DeLand and the City of DeLand. The City Commission understands the value of these projects. The staff has worked with us to do tremendous work in getting everything done. So that's really what it takes, is cooperation from the people who can make it happen and allow people like us to inform them of what we would like to do, and they figure out how we can go forward. When we finally completed the first of the 14 boxes that we've wrapped, it was pretty amazing because we've been working on this for 3 years up to that point to get it accomplished. The way the world works, we're inundated with visual information. So I would bet that most people aren't even aware of these traffic boxes on the corner. They tune them out. Once we dress them up, then all of a sudden it's something worth looking at. It's something to think about while you're stopped at the corner. It's a little piece of beauty that wasn't there, as opposed to something they just tuned out because it was ugly.
The reaction has been extremely positive. I can't say enough about it. I've had no negative comments. People absolutely love the artwork, they love the location, they love the surprise when they come to another box. So it's been very, very, very positive.
All these projects that we're doing for public art certainly help with the notoriety of the city. It all works together to make this a greater place than it ever has been.
Because it again puts emphasis on art in downtown DeLand. I love it.
Did Did you know there's a beach icon that can trace its roots back to a West Volusia high school? Brian Vandal has the details.
For most, a summertime visit to Volusia County is not complete without getting a little sand between the toes and heading out to one of our beautiful beaches. Protecting our shores and keeping a watchful eye on the beachgoers is the job of the county's accomplished lifeguard corps. The lifeguard's chair is one of the most important tools in their toolkit. The iconic red chair gives them the vantage point to better protect our guests. But that raises the question, where do these invaluable chairs come from? Turns out, about 25 miles west of the beach.
We've been using different high schools for over the years, as long as I can remember, but more specifically DeLand High School for at least 10 years now, maybe even a little longer, to build our lifeguard chairs. Yeah. So, we work with them. They have a pretty good shop over there. Their teacher over there, Rick Hervey, does a real good job with the kids over there. He runs a real tight ship, and he delivers a very high-quality product for us. It's a win-win relationship. We have been buying 20 a year, and actually we increased our allotment. We used to do 10, and now we're doing 20 because we want a quality chair out there. And after a few years, they do start getting beat up. So instead of band-aiding them, we're just replacing them, every 5 years or so. The quality is very good, and it's been a refined process over the years too. They're stable, they're upright, they have to last, they have rigidity, they move, they have to support a person being on them. They move up and down with the tides. They move out with low tide, and they move up with the high tide. Every day they're used. They have to support being able to be moved through the mud and the sand and everything too, so they hold it pretty well and they do a pretty good job.
Before the students start swinging their hammers or making that first cut, every day starts in the traditional classroom with a safety meeting. This time behind the desk offers a chance to hear about hazardous incidents and how best to avoid these situations. Then it's on to the shop floor, where Rick Hervey runs it like a true job site. Mr. Hervey prefers to be in the background and deflects all attention and accolades to his students. A stroke of genius is how the veteran teacher assembles his classes. There isn't Carpentry 1 or Carpentry 2. Students of varying skills and experience are in the same class and work together to get the job done. And by doing so, his students rely on each other, not the teacher.
It's a great product. I mean, if they build it or have part of building it, they see it out there, they know that they did something with that, and we hope that it instills a sense of pride in them too. And they're learning skills. They're learning a good trade. They're learning how to use tools and everything, and Mr. Hervey is a good teacher out there, and he's strict with them, he's hard on them, but in a good way to where they learn. Not only do they learn how to do things right, but they learn that trade at the same time. It's a great relationship. It's a win-win. We benefit. The school benefits. The kids, most of all, benefit. So it's a great program. The chairs are very durable. It's a work in progress. Usually if we see something that we can adjust it or fix it or make it better. And they're designed to last out there. Like you said, they're in the sand, the surf, the salt, the sun. So they live a pretty hard life, so they have to last. And these are not recreational. These are tools that we use. These towers are iconic. They're out there. Everybody sees them. They're on a million different publications, and they're made to last, too. So thank you very much. Great job. Keep up the good work, and take what you're learning and take it with you later on in your life.
Next time you're at the beach and you see that big red chair, remember, it was built by DeLand High's Bulldog Carpentry. And while the county lifeguard towers are one of the most visible products of Bulldog Carpentry, it certainly isn't the only item. The group has a selection of custom-built chairs, tables, as well as your very own lifeguard tower available, with all sale proceeds used to support the class. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Brian Vandal.
Hi, I'm Josh Wagner.
And I'm Billy Wheeler. During the planning stages of the Tomstead Veteran Memorial Bridge, people voiced their desire to have a Veterans Memorial Plaza on the northwest side of the bridge.
The Veterans Memorial Plaza will create a special place in our community for people to reflect and connect with our fallen heroes.
The proposed concept for the new Veterans Memorial Plaza is estimated to be a $1.2 million endeavor.
Your donation will help us create a special place in our community in which we can honor Volusia County veterans from all military branches and military conflicts. To help fund our Veterans Memorial Plaza, visit veteransmemorialbridge.com or call Volusia County Accounting at 386-736-5933.
We appreciate your support to create this lasting memorial for those who have served and continue to serve our country.
The Volusia County Council meets on the second floor of the Thomas C. Kelly Administration Center, located at 123 West Indiana Avenue in DeLand. Public participation begins at 9:30 a.m. and the meeting agenda starts at 10 a.m. A live video stream is available at volusia.org/audio, and agendas are posted at volusia.org/agenda. Future meeting dates are available online at volusia.org.
With nearly 500,000 permanent residents and millions more seasonal guests, Volusia County always has a need for blood. Unfortunately, there is no synthetic substitute, and the only source is from the community. Kevin Captain rolls up his sleeves and has more on ways we can help.
Volusia County is filled with philanthropists of all kinds. But did you know that most of us are eligible to give the gift of life?
So, Mr. Michaels, with this facility having 6 chairs, about how many donors do you have on a given day here in Volusia County?
Probably about 10, maybe 15 on average for this size donor center. We have some donor centers that are larger, so we might have more donors on a particular day. This particular center here kind of specializes in having people give those platelets that we talked about for cancer patients. So a lot of people come in here to give platelets.
Volusia County's population is more than 500,000 people, as well as having millions of seasonal visitors throughout the year. Every day in Volusia County, there is a need for patients to receive blood products. To learn more, we talked with Pat Michaels, a spokesperson for OneBlood, the exclusive blood procurement organization serving Volusia County.
One of the common reasons people need transfusions is for routine surgeries. Most people don't think about it. They think about blood being needed when we have a tragedy. And a lot of people will go donate when they hear about that. But every single day in every hospital, someone has a routine surgery and blood is needed.
A typical blood donation is about 1 pint or 500 milliliters. In terms of equivalency, that's near 16 ounces. A blood donation is then centrifuged or spun down into its 3 components: red blood cells, platelets, and plasma, each providing their own specific health benefit for the recipient. Donors can also be specific in what component they donate, and when donors learn more about their blood types, this knowledge can be the motivation for specific giving.
So one person who may donate a whole blood unit would wind up possibly affecting more than one person. Could be 1, 2, 3 or so, because it's broken into the components. We work with patients to know their blood type and understand how we utilize their blood type to the maximum.
Besides being used for surgeries, cancer treatment, and other chronic illnesses, blood products are often used in life-threatening, time-sensitive emergencies such as traumatic injuries, which present an immediate challenge when there might not be enough time to identify a patient's blood type.
Trauma patients are, you never know what might happen in a trauma. That's the situation that is that unknown. And when that happens, they could go through a number of units in a very short period of time, especially if we don't know who the patient is, we don't know their blood type. So that's another challenge. So if they go in there and have a mass transfusion and they don't know their blood type, they're going to give them O negative, which is the universal blood type.
OneBlood is a not-for-profit organization who provides blood products to all of our hospitals in Volusia County. They have 2 permanent donation centers, one located in DeLand and one in Ormond Beach, both of which accept platelet donations. Local residents routinely see OneBlood's fleet of big red buses that operate mobile blood drives throughout the year in Volusia County. These state-of-the-art mobile donation vehicles are a principal part of our area's blood collection, and by going directly to our county's businesses and events, these mobiles offer more convenience to donors. Becoming a blood donor is much easier than most people think, and it actually takes less than an hour to complete the entire process. Along with giving that special gift to our local patients, there is a unique sense of altruism that donors share, which is often passed on to others.
We have donors who will come in here and they'll bring their husband or wife with them. The kids are in here, you know, getting to see their parents donating blood. That's something that's kind of branded in their memory, that my parent donated blood. And many times that will carry over into someone saying, you know, my parents donated blood, I'm going to do it. We stress to people, if you can donate blood, make it a part of your routine, make it a part of your life, because you never know when a tragedy may happen. You never know when it might be one of your family members who needs blood, or it could even be you.
Once it becomes a routine practice, over time, the amount of patients who benefit become immeasurable. And every donation counts.
Kevin, we're doing just fine. We'll be done in just a couple minutes.
Okay, great, thanks. If you'd like to be a part of giving the gift of life to those in need for Volusia County and beyond, consider reaching out to a One Blood Center or mobile near you. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Kevin Captain.
Stay connected with the latest Volusia County news, events, and updates on our social media channels. Like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Catch up with previous stories on YouTube, or just head over to our website, volusia.org. That wraps up this edition of Volusia Magazine. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman. Have a wonderful evening.